Hi there. Have you ever noticed that some sounds don't just echo in your ears? They echo in your heart. It could be someone's laughter, the wind through a window, or an old melody you once knew as a child. The girl in today's story found an old wooden music box while cleaning her mother's old room. Its lid was carved with a moon and stars, faded but still shimmering with a trace of memory. Beneath the dust, a small line of writing appeared. For you to remember what makes you smile. She opened the lid. A tune began to play. Soft, raspy, but enough to make the whole room pause. It was a melody both familiar and distant, and her heart ached, as if touching a forgotten corner of her past. She remembered now. She was 10 years old, when her mother gave her the music box one Christmas. It wasn't an expensive gift, just a small handmade trinket from a nearby shop. But to the little girl, it was a treasure. Every morning, before school, she'd open the lid, letting the tune play as she brushed her hair or tied her shoes. At night, she'd play it again, listening until she drifted off to sleep. Some nights, she giggled along. Other nights, she cried, missing her father, or from being teased at school. But whether happy or sad, the music was always the same. Gentle, steady, like a friend who didn't need to speak, just stayed. It became the rhythm of her childhood, quiet, pure, and warm enough to remind her the world could still be safe. Now, years later, she heard that same melody in a silent room. Everything had changed. The walls, the person, the life itself. But the sound stayed the same. She looked around. The wall that once held her mother's photo was bare. The curtains, once bright, had faded with time. Yet the tiny sound of the music box beat like a second heart, pulling her back to a time when everything felt simpler. In her mind, she saw her 10-year-old self again, sitting by the window, chin on her hands, swinging her legs under the sunlight, humming softly along. And the woman she was now smiled. A smile both tender and grateful, because this music didn't just hold sadness. It held the laughter, the warmth, the small moments of hope that built her world. It had watched over every tear, every smile, and patiently waited for the day she'd return and open it again. The tune reached its peak, notes trembling like a whisper through time. She closed her eyes and felt as though she was being embraced by something unseen. Her mother's voice echoed in memory. There will be times you feel lost, but if you can still hear music, you haven't truly lost your way. Now she understood. This music wasn't just sound. It was the trace of love itself, a message from the past. You were never alone. She laughed softly through her tears. It was the kind of laughter that felt like a sigh of relief. And in that moment, all the memories, happy and painful, blended into one gentle harmony. No sharp edges, just gratitude. Music is the bridge between the child within us and the adult we've become. It doesn't demand happiness. It simply asks us to feel, because some melodies aren't heard with the ears, but with the heart. And when we truly listen, we often find a version of ourselves, innocent, honest, still capable of wonder. If you're listening to this, take a moment for music today. It doesn't have to be joyful or sad, just something that makes you feel like yourself. It could be the song that played at home when you were little, a lullaby, or the background tune of an old movie you loved. Play it again. Close your eyes. Let the sound guide you through the hidden corners of your memories, not to dwell in the past, but to remember you're still here, and your heart still knows how to feel. The music ended. She closed the lid, and the wooden surface glowed under the last bit of sunlight. She whispered, "Thank you for holding the best parts of me." If you're hearing this, thank you for pausing to listen, for allowing your heart to soften, and for choosing kindness toward yourself. You don't have to be strong all the time. Sometimes, healing is simply pressing play again. on a song meant only for you. A quiet reminder from your inner child. I'm still here. I'm still listening. Thank you for staying on this journey. This is video 13 inches, the Healing Your Inner Child series. If the quiet road was where you learned to listen in silence, then the old music box is where you learn to listen with your heart. To realize that every note, whether born of joy or pain, has shaped the person you are today. Join us next time for video 14, The Rainy Window, where the girl sits by the window, watching the rain fall, and discovers that even in life's storms, there's a quiet place inside, where she can be small, safe, and at peace.